Fourth hour teachers, just wanted to provide some helpful tips for you guys today as you're facilitating discussions in your classrooms covering the topic of mental health for April awareness. Obviously, if you have student council members that are coming to your classrooms and leading this, they're going to get these helpful tips as well. But if you are instructing students on this topic, again, it's not easy for everyone to talk about mental health or stress, substance abuse. So hopefully these will be some helpful tips as you guys are facilitating the question. So if you guys, after you show the video, the first discussion question, what comes to mind when you hear the term mental health? This is why I kind of preface with that intro that we want to be considerate and thoughtful, because some kids could just come out and be like, oh, it's crazy people. And that could be offensive. But again, that's kind of a stereotype or myth that we're trying to bring awareness to and change mindsets on. So basically, if kids might be very quiet when it comes to this question, and so you could just kind of break it down. What do you think of when you think of the word health? Okay, so that could be like physical health, emotional health, you eat right. So you could talk about that and then bring in the mental part. Okay, so what does that mean when you're mentally healthy? And kind of talk about the health of your brain, psychologically, emotionally, they all kind of tie together. And so kind of bringing those two terms together is a little bit safer if you break them down first and then put them together. So if you ask the second question, how can we maintain and improve our mental health? If you've already broken down the two words in the first question, if we're talking about how you can improve your mental health, it's kind of easy to think about how do you improve your physical health. Well, you exercise more, maybe you eat right, you get enough sleep. So if you think about mental health, you know, there's kind of that phrase out there that people take a mental health day or something. It's basically just encouraging kids that you're finding balance, that you're not overwhelming yourself with commitments, that you are taking time out to take care of yourself. And that kind of ties into self-care that we're talking about the last week of April. So you guys can kind of think about what are ways that we take care of our brains, and that could be just what, you know, environment we're putting ourselves in. That can affect it as well. The third question, what is the stigma surrounding mental health and why do people think that? So we kind of put the focus off the students and we said, why do people think that? So we're kind of thinking about society in general or people outside our building, kind of takes the focus and the pressure off them. So here we are addressing some of those stigmas that, you know, people with mental health are sick or that they aren't able to function in society. So here we're kind of talking about some of those stereotypes or things from, you know, back in the old days that people had to, you know, live in a facility or be in a white padded room or things like that. So we're just talking about some of those stigmas and people might think that way because of movies they've seen, because of language they've heard their parents say, you know, and just kind of closing out with why it's important to have an open mind, how they could look at mental health differently, what would that look like to provide support to someone who is experiencing mental illness. I think those could be good follow-up questions, just kind of leading into a positive direction for the rest of the week when we're thinking about that and hearing announcements. So hopefully these are helpful tips for you guys. If you have any questions, please do email me. Thanks.